You might find yourself suddenly needing to manage a remote team of accountants. With the way life is changing, offering remote work to your employees is probably going to become a norm, at least some days of the week. With that comes some unique challenges you might not have had to face with everyone in the office. Even the most seasoned managers are struggling to keep tabs on their team and maintain productivity while their staff is doing their part from home or wherever they may be traveling. So let's go over some tips to help you make this a pleasant experience for all and keep your accounting business running smoothly. Tip number 1, set expectations immediately. Your staff might know what's usually expected of them, but processes have probably changed, priorities have shifted, and there may be some new responsibilities. Likewise, your employees may have had to make some adjustments too. They may be homeschooling kids, taking care of aging parents, and figuring out their own new routine. So it may be time to set new expectations for your team. You may need to compromise so your team can thrive. Some areas in which you may want to set expectations are working hours. Is your team expected to maintain a strict 9 to 5, or is there flexibility to work earlier or later? What about work breaks such as lunch? Should employees communicate when they are away from computer for more than a bathroom break? Productivity. How many hours of time are your employees expected to clock each week? Have there been changes to client relationships or contracts that will require more or less hours with that client? Priorities. Are certain items, projects, or clients higher or lower priority as a result of the pandemic? For example, reaching out to clients to inform them of tax relief might be moved to the high priority list. Communication response time. Is it okay to respond to emails every 2 hours, every hour, or does it need to be under 30 minutes? Many employees perform best when they can focus on work in isolated chunks and check email only once every hour or so. Communication format. When should your employees set a meeting rather than send an email? When is a phone call or instant message appropriate? With so many communication tools, it's helpful to set standards for when to use one versus another. Tip number 2, have the right infrastructure. In a perfect world, accountants would be completely ready to work from home, but this definitely isn't a perfect world, and some changes may need to be made to put the right tools in place. As a manager, you'll need to keep an extra close eye on your employees' productivity and client communications during this time. Your firm probably has a practice management system in place already, but is that system sufficient for these new remote working conditions? A cloud-based practice management software like TPS Cloud Axis is a good place to start. You can track time and billing, manage client communications, and create an optimized workflow that keeps your team more productive. A good practice management software can also automate redundant tasks, saving your team time on non-chargeable work. Tip number 3, be proactive about communication. The social isolation that comes with working remotely can be debilitating or downright depressing. It's important to have frequent and regular meetings scheduled on both a group and one-on-one basis. This helps people feel like part of a team and keeps them accountable. So try regular team and group meetings. These help staff feel like part of a team and keeps them accountable. One-on-one meetings. These help managers check in with employees individually and see how they're doing and what challenges they may have. And of course, larger staff meetings. Here you can share changes happening at the company level, pandemic responses, and big client news. Tip number 4, encourage employees to step up. Some of your staff might have a difficult time managing remote work, but others, particularly younger employees or those without a lot of responsibility at home, could be in a position to take on new challenges or more duties in the firm. Maybe it's time to let them prove themselves. And of course, a thank you, especially during these times of constantly changing and adapting, goes a long way. Mention your appreciation at an all-staff meeting or in a monthly internal email. Thanking them publicly will foster a culture of encouragement and inspire others to broaden their own impact at the firm. Tip number 5, just be human. We all know these are challenging times. While the pandemic is no excuse to not get your work done, managers should understand that employees are people too. They have an entire life outside of work that can't always be paused, particularly if they are juggling new responsibilities or less than ideal work conditions. One thing your employees are sure to appreciate is flexibility. You can still mandate general working hours at your firm, but if an employee needs to swap an evening hour to make up for taking a 1 to 2 p.m. for themselves, there's no real harm in allowing it. On a similar note, be sure to respect the boundaries of those employees who do prefer sticking to a 9 to 5 schedule. It's important to have the ability to disconnect from work entirely, and if your staff feels pressured to reply to an email at 8 p.m., that can lead to burnout in the long run. Another part of being human is being understanding. Try to have a sense of humor if kids pop up during a conference call or pets are barking in the background. Your employees are likely to be anxious about these interruptions too, but there is often little to be done. Tip 6, find ways to connect. Working from home can be incredibly isolating, and let's be honest, there's no real way to replace the camaraderie that comes with a spontaneous happy hour after work with colleagues. But we can try. Consider hosting a bi-weekly virtual team happy hours. Try to keep these to small groups of 4 to 5. This will reduce the social overwhelm and make for easier conversation. If you actually want people to attend, be smart and schedule it at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday. You might even get the introverts to join. If you don't want to center team bonding around drinking, get creative. There's a growing industry around virtual team events and platforms that support team building activities. You can probably guess why. Here are a few of our favorites. Virtual team building activities. Virtual games, trivia, murder mysteries, chess tournaments, some healthy competition can help build common ground for future conversations. Weekly watch nights. Invite your team to join a group watch of a movie, TV show, or documentary. Fitness or health competitions. Challenge staff to compete against one another for a common goal. Could be weight loss, steps taken, miles walked or ran, etc. Offer a prize to top contenders. And local scavenger hunts. Hide a small stuffed animal, bonus if it's your firm mascot, around local landmarks and offer employees clues to find it, and a prize if they do. Team building activities might seem silly, and they often are. That's the whole point. It's beneficial for employees to be able to connect and talk about things other than work. It brings colleagues closer together and ultimately makes for a stronger team. Tip number 7, be generous. We know accounting firms usually don't want to spend money, but showing your employees they are valued is an investment that will pay off. Give them the tools they need to work more efficiently. Surprise and delight them with small but thoughtful perks. Over time, this kind of generosity results in happier, harder working employees and less turnover. Many companies are offering their employees stipends to help improve their remote working experience. That could be for a computer monitor, an ergonomic desk chair or keyboard, a printer, or other office supplies. This will boost both employee satisfaction and performance, as these items can actually help employees better do their job. Chances are your employees miss being able to leave the office and grab some tasty takeout for lunch. Providing them with gift baskets, snack boxes, meal delivery, or a gift card to a local restaurant lets them shake things up and can even spark local business relationships. In the end, you're going to need a certain degree of trust in your employees. You can't casually stroll by their desk to ensure they're on the job. Fortunately, most employees want to do their jobs well. If you treat them with respect and provide the tools and support they need, they will. Thank you for watching, and if you're looking for a solution to your practice management needs, find out more about TPS Cloud Axis at www.tpssoftware.com or give us a call at 1-888-877-2231.